You ever notice how quiet things get right after you finally walk away from something or someone that you've been holding on to for way too long? Like not just silence on the outside, but that weird, almost eerie silence in your gut. You'd think walking away would be this big dramatic moment. Music swelling, people chasing after you, some slow motion scene out of a movie. But most of the time, it's just quiet. And in that silence, you start to wonder, what are they thinking right now? What are they feeling? Do they even care that I left? Let's talk about that. Because the truth is, when you finally decide to walk away from someone who took you for granted, it shakes them way more than they let on. They may not say it, they may pretend they're unbothered, but trust me, they feel it deeply. And I want you to understand what really happens when you walk away, not just outside of you, but inside of them. Here's the thing people don't talk about enough. Walking away isn't weak. It's not giving up. It's not being dramatic. It's power. And it's the kind of power most people never expect you to use. Because let's be honest, if you're anything like me, you probably spent a long time staying. You gave chances, you explained yourself, you tried to fix things, you made excuses for their behavior. You thought maybe if you loved harder, if you were more patient, they'd see your worth. But they didn't. And here's the twist. They didn't think you'd ever leave. That's why they acted the way they did. That's why they got comfortable treating you like an option, because they believed you'd always be there. But the second you shift, the second you stop chasing, stop over-explaining, stop giving them access to your energy, ooh, that's when they feel it. It doesn't matter how cool or detached they try to act. Internally, it hits. They feel the weight of your absence. Not immediately, maybe. Some people take days, others take weeks. But there comes a moment, and it always comes, where they realize you were the one holding it all together. You were the effort, you were the consistency, you were the safe space. You were the one who showed up, again and again. And now, you're gone. And that silence you feel after walking away, that's the sound of a dynamic shifting. It's the vacuum that happens when someone loses access to a person they didn't think they'd ever lose. You know what's funny? People only start seeing your value when it's no longer convenient for them. When you were right there, texting first, showing up, checking in, they didn't have to think about your worth, you were a given. But the second you walk away, something changes. They start replaying old conversations. They reread your texts, so they notice the lack of notifications. They feel that absence in the places you used to fill. Because that's what happens when someone finally realizes you're not coming back this time. It's not a game, it's not to get attention, it's not a stunt, it's peace. It's self-respect. It's protecting your own energy. And that terrifies people who were counting on your silence. Do you ever have someone message you out of nowhere, months after you've moved on? They'll say something like, "Hey, just thinking about you," or "I saw this and it reminded me of you." That's not random. That's guilt. That's regret. That's the weight of realizing they underestimated you. They thought you were replaceable, but now they're sitting there realizing that no one else shows up the way you did, no one listens the way you did, no one makes them feel safe the way you did. They're surrounded by people and yet still feel the emptiness of your absence. Because not all losses are loud. Some losses echo in the quiet moments, the late nights, the "I wish I hadn't" moments. And listen, I know it's not always easy to walk away. Sometimes your heart is still in it, sometimes you still care, sometimes you're scared of being alone, or you worry that walking away means you've failed. But I want you to hear me clearly. Walking away from someone who didn't value you is not failure. It's growth. It's evolution. It's choosing you. And yeah, it might sting at first. You might doubt yourself. You might even miss them. But one day, you're going to wake up and realize you stopped shrinking yourself just to fit into spaces that were never meant for you in the first place. You don't owe anyone an explanation for choosing peace. You don't owe anyone access to you just because they're used to having it. And you definitely don't owe anyone another chance to hurt you the same way twice. You teach people how to treat you by what you tolerate. So when you finally walk away, that's you rewriting the script, That's you saying, I am no longer available for anything that costs me my self-worth. And the ones who really lost you, they'll feel it. Quietly, slowly, deeply. But by then, you'll be too far ahead to look back. You see, most people don't change when you beg them to. They change when they realize they lost someone who wasn't afraid to leave. That's the irony. Your presence didn't move them, but your absence will. And I know some part of you still wonders, do they miss me? Here's what I'll say. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But that's not your business anymore. Your business now is you, your healing, your peace, your joy, your future. You don't walk away to punish anyone. You walk away to protect what's sacred. And sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is simply stop showing up for people who don't clap when you win. So if today is the day you decide to finally walk away from the one-sided relationship, the toxic friendship, the draining situationship, the fake support system, let me just say this. I'm proud of you. That takes strength, that takes courage, that takes clarity. And I promise you, even if it feels hard now, even if it's quiet, even if you're wondering if it was the right choice, one day soon you'll look back and realize it was the beginning of everything getting better because you stopped waiting for them to change. And you changed the game by choosing yourself.